Hey, what's good? It's been a while since I made a video, and I want to talk about a couple of the things that I've been focused on in the last year and a half or so. So, primarily, like these were the three things that I was primarily focused on. Number one, wrapping up my CS degree. Number two, getting ready for interviews. Number three, Math Academy. And my time was split 50% doing classes, probably 40% ish just getting ready for interviews, and then the last 10% was on Math Academy. So for those of you that have been following me for a while, you'll know that how I discovered Math Academy was I was actually stuck on the math classes in my CS program. And the reason I was stuck was because I never got past like the fourth or fifth grade math, and that was because I moved a couple times. I also didn't attend a lot of school, and the schools that I did attend weren't very good as well. So anyhow, fast forward. So I started like my tech career. I didn't have a degree and taught myself how to code and other tech skills. So with the CS program, I was thinking, okay, so I got my tech career started. Let me get this degree too, and then let me reverse engineer my way through all of the math that I had never done and I failed. So I was just scrolling on Twitter one day and I saw Justin making some tweets about Math Academy or something like that. I was seeing like other tweets about Math Academy and stuff too. So that's how I discovered Math Academy. And then I got unstuck in the program. So I just wrapped it up like earlier this year, like around March. So, and what I was trying to do was like when I started the program up, I was trying to line up getting my degree and then also being ready to interview, so get like a better work situation sorted out. So, anyhow, yeah, those were probably like the two biggest things, and I'll kind of talk about some of the different stuff that I learned. So let's see, where do I want to start? So interview prep. What does that look like? So being interview ready is a really high return on investment skill to have. There's a really big opportunity cost in not being ready because you never know what kind of situation you could find yourself in, whether that's like unemployment or whether that's a great opportunity just falling in your lap and you can't take advantage of it because you're not ready. I'll share like a story. When I was first learning how to code, I was looking up a lot of different things related to data structures, like how does this thing work, how does that work, and Google actually does this thing where if you search up basically like a combination of different coding or data structure topics, your screen and Google Chrome will black out, and they give you this challenge that you can do, and if you do the challenge, it takes you directly to an interview. And I remember getting that and thinking like, damn, like I'm not ready to do an interview. I don't have LeetCode skills and I'm not ready to like interview right now. And I wouldn't have been able to take advantage of that opportunity anyways, because at the time I was the primary caretaker for my younger siblings. But it was an early lesson that I learned like about just being always ready. The other thing is if you work in tech and you sit down and you do the math, like what's standing in the way of me making X amount of money? And you go to levels.fyi, you look at the different salary brackets, and you're like, here's the amount of money that I potentially could be making, here's the amount of money that I'm making right now. And if I was making X amount of money, how much would my quality of life increase? I could retire X number of years earlier. And the answer to all of those questions is having good interview skills. And if you prepare for interviews right, you only really have to do it once and you'll be set for life. And that was my goal. I never wanted to spend any more time getting ready for interviews. So what I would do is basically, I made a huge outline of all of the different things that I needed to be good at for the different places that I wanted to work at. So whatever whatever stuff that I needed to do to clear, the interview rounds. So once I kind of researched all of that, so here's like an example for like, Linux. I made like a big, high level overline of these are all of the different things that I want to learn. And then I used this book. I read some of this book, not all of it. I used it as like kind of like a reference, as an additional resource looking at particular things. But for the most part, what I was doing was making like an outline of what I wanted to learn, and then I would go to Claude and have Claude generate like a lesson, and I would say, hey, here's all of the different things that I want to learn. I want you to break all of the topics down like X, Y, or Z. So after I would learn that particular topic, then I would go and create Anki cards. So I would learn the lesson, create Anki cards, go through those Anki cards, move on to the next topic, and I did this basically for basically everything that I was trying to learn. And this is like a much bigger map of this map that I got right here. This is kind of like a summary of the things that I was the different material and stuff that I was going through. But this is like a much more detailed map, and I covered a lot of ground. And so I was doing, so one was I started initially with going through that O-Step book, and then going through Claude to generate like lessons for other things that I wanted to learn about operating systems, Linux in particular. And then after that, I went through and basically made a list of what are all of the different like Linux troubleshooting type scenarios, things that I need to learn. So I went through Brendan Gregg, I think is his name, and he's a really excellent performance. I don't know what would you call it? Like he does, basically performance related work on Linux, and he has lots of good material out there on how to troubleshoot like systems at scale and things like that. So I was going through his website, looking at different stuff that he had noted down, and I was creating like different kinds of exercises, and I was making Anki cards out of everything. And I have like a 5,000 Anki deck or so, I think, that I created over the last year or so. What were the subjects that I was saying? So Linux, networking, troubleshooting Linux systems, system design. So for the system design, I went through this educative course on, it was something system design, and the Design Guru system design course. So I was going back and forth between both of those, and then I went through all of the material, most of the design scenarios, and so same thing. I was just creating Anki cards for all the stuff that I was learning. I did also Google has this thing called non-abstract something system design, where it's not like you can't really prepare for it in the same way that you prepare for like these things, like where you're like, how do I build a URL shortener and stuff like that. It's very, very granular, like breaking the systems, the scenarios you gotta be confident in is like basically just designing like any system from the ground up, including like building out like all of the headers, building out like, here's like the amount of bytes that this particular, when I'm storing this particular piece of information, and this registry is going to be X number of bytes and things like that. So that was like the three things that I focused on around system design. That was cool. I learned a lot. And the other was LeetCode. I'd never really gotten good at LeetCode. So I wanted to focus on all of the popular LeetCode patterns that are out there that show up the most frequently. and I just made a huge list of like, these are all of the different questions that show up for this company and this company, and I just made like a list of all of that stuff, and pulled out like all of the common denominator patterns, and then same thing there, created Anki cards, had all of that stuff. So yeah, like everything you see here, I have like Anki cards created for it. So this is like, or let me step back. So did I already show this? Yeah, I think I already showed this. Never mind. So this is basically Anki, and I started using it like last year, middle of last year, and usually takes me about, like maybe 2 hours ish or so going through my Anki cards every day. And I would say when I was creating all this material, it was taking me like probably closer to 4 hours to go through my Anki reviews every day. But that was because like I was, creating so many new cards, and then there would be like the reviews for the stuff that I learned from like the last couple of days and stuff. So I had a lot of reviews that would show up, and also I wasn't making. I learned a lot of stuff about Anki in general. I wasn't really doing the best job of creating good Anki cards initially when I first started using Anki. It took me probably like maybe around 4-ish or so months until I figured out like, okay, these are all of the things that really make up for a really good Anki card. So I was kind of paying the toll for old Anki cards that weren't really good, and that kind of made going through Anki reviews more challenging. So yeah, that is basically the gist of the different stuff that I was focused on. As far as like in Math Academy, at the moment I'm 87% done with the Math Academy Foundation 3 course, and my plan is once I complete this, move on to the Math Academy for Machine Learning course, try to get that completed for the end of the year. So yeah, that's what's next. I'm gonna just kind of be kicking it and trying to also take it slow. Last year and a half or so, I really was like on this NPC schedule where it's waking up, every single day, 5 a.m., get to the office by like around 5:30 a.m. Start going through the motions, all the stuff that I need to do that day, all the stuff that I need to study, start work, clock off work, repeat the same thing in the evening. And I go, the same restaurant almost every single day. There's just a Mediterranean restaurant near my crib, and I'd get the same chicken kebab, and I would order chocolate baklava, and it would be like the same 3 girls that I would like run into every single day. And they knew my schedule too. Like they knew like as soon as like it's 8 p.m., I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna ask for a chicken kebab and chocolate baklava, and I would see them again like the next day. So yeah, I'm really just trying to kick it for a little bit, just keep making progress on this course, and yeah, I'm very excited to kind of see where things are at after I complete this course. And I do have a backlog of a lot of videos that I want to make. The most frequently asked question I get is like around Anki, like how to create Anki cards and things like that. So yeah, I want to make content around that. I want to make content around like how to just develop like a good system for like studying. What else? Yeah, let's see what else. I have a good like list of things that I noted down. So I do want to focus on right now, just focusing on getting this Math for Machine Learning course done. Making content just takes so much time. Like just putting this video out took me like almost 7 hours because I was troubleshooting so many issues with like the audio, with trying to use like the screen share software and stuff, and it just took me forever to figure out. Maybe some of that is because like maybe I need to get like a computer with better specs or something, but basically I wasn't able to get the screen share thing and the video and the bubble thing that shows up in the bottom right corner working at the same time. Like the frame rate was coming out super jittery and whatnot. So yeah, I do want to make more content, but it just takes so much time to like sit down, plan what you want to talk about. So yeah, hopefully I get better at it over time. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Have a good day. This is my Instagram where I've been posting my study sessions to over the last year and a half. I've been posting them on Twitter too, but I thought I'd plug my Instagram here because Instagram and TikTok are more media friendly. So, but the algorithm just got changed though recently on Twitter. And now I got like a little bit more motion. Shout out to Nikita, for fixing things up for you, boy. So if you are interested in seeing me put reps in progress, you can check out my Instagram here. I don't really have a whole lot of things to say, really, to be honest, even on Twitter. I just come in there and I want to post my study sessions, interact with my mutuals, pretty much it.